Hey guys, it's your girl T, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the new Saturday Night Live comedian. Her name is Leslie Jones, and she's one of the black female comedians. A lot of folks were complaining there were no black females, so now they finally hired one, and she recently did a skit over the weekend that's causing a lot of controversy. And basically it's called the Slave Draft, and in that skit she's talking about how because of her build she would have had a man because she can't get a man in 2014 to save her life, and she had been breeding out Shaquille's and LeBron James's and everything else. So I want you to go ahead and check out her skit. The link is down below. I want you to go ahead and watch it and then come back and watch the rest of my commentary. Okay, so I'm sure you guys all watched the skit by now. And when I watched the skit, you know, granted she was kind of cooning, but I did find the skit kind of funny in a dark way. I understood where she was coming from with this skit. She was basically saying that in 2014, she can't get a man because I guess the way she looks or whatever. But back then, she would have had no problem getting with a brother because Master would have forced the black man and black woman to get together. So I understood where she's coming from. But again, as we know, we live in a racially sensitive world. And folks, you know, were really upset at her. They were going off on her on Twitter, so she decided to clap back and she went off. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys these tweets right now, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary. Okay. Her tweets, and my whole thing is this: Leslie needs to realize that folks are going to have their opinions. Some folks are going to like your work and some folks are not going to like your work, but at the end of the day, they have the right to their opinion. And I'm not saying that anybody has the right to be nasty to her or cuss her out, because at the end of the day, she's doing her job. She's doing what she's told to do. It's not like she's Dr. Cornel West. She's supposed to make people laugh. If you didn't like her joke, then that's fine. You have the right to state that. I guess to me personally, I felt like if she was so proud of her work and she's still behind her work, she shouldn't have to explain herself in almost 16 tweets. I mean, me personally, if folks didn't like my work and they didn't like the jokes that I had to say, I would just say, you know what, it is what it is and keep it moving. You know, I'll try better next time. The fact that she went off and cussed folks out on Twitter, you know, trying to defend her work says a lot. It makes me feel like maybe she feels deep down inside what she did was possibly wrong, and that's why she clapped back as hard as she did. But with that being said, our favorite CNN news correspondent, Don Lemon, has come out and he has her back. And this is what Don Lemon had to say about the entire controversy. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys Don Lemon's clip right now, and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Last year, people were on a tear complaining about diversity, asking, where are the sisters on SNL? And now that there are some on there, you complain about her material. In the 1970s, SNL brilliantly used the N-word in a sketch with Richard Pryor and Chevy Chase. The Jeffersons, All in the Family, Good Times, they all used the N-word and broached controversial race topics as well. And sometimes they didn't do it gracefully, but at least they did it. Hell, in Living Color had Wanda. Martin Lawrence had Shanae. Neither character was flattering to black women, but you laughed at them. Leslie Jones responded by saying that black people were too sensitive sometimes. In this case, she is right. Leave the woman alone. Give her the freedom the rest of the cast has, the freedom to grow, the freedom to learn, the freedom to make mistakes. She shouldn't have to carry the collective burden of all black people on her shoulders. She's a comedian, not a civil rights worker. Leslie Jones, ignore the haters. The loudest voices on Twitter aren't necessarily the majority. Do your thing. Kick ass and take names. I'm Don Lemon. Thanks for watching. Okay,
so you guys just saw Don Lemon's clip, and Don Lemon basically said what I said. She's a comedian. You know, I don't really expect much from a lot of these comedians out here. You know, Kevin Hart has said some real foul shit towards black women, especially dark-skinned black women. You know, a lot of comedians out here say some really, really foul shit. You know, even in barbershop, they had disrespected Dr. Martin Luther King. So I'm just kind of used to black comedians, especially black comedians, cooning and doing whatever else. So at the end of the day, people have the right to their opinions. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, it is what it is. So anyways, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation. Did you like her skit? Do you feel like it was racist? Do you feel like slavery jokes should be off limits no matter what? And also, how did you feel about Don Lemon coming in, you know, basically having her back and saying that he enjoyed her skit and that folks need to leave her alone? So let me know your thoughts on this entire controversy. All right, deuces.